because they don't care. Because you have that authority, and you say, okay, if you don't, you have that control. And that's why I said it's very important for managers to understand, not to take advantage of people that are working for them. So, which brings me the main thing is that you have to believe in servant leadership style. And I told you a very good book to look at that is Art of Leadership. What do I mean by servant leadership? What is it by servant leadership approach to?
You act as a servant to your employees and whatever they need to get the job done, you provide for them?
So is this a reverse mentality that you are servant, you are there to serve that your employees? And what are some of the advantages of that? If you have that type of leadership. And see, like, if you're working on this area for your group research, I'd like to know how percentage of managers are using that. I'd like to know some in-depth analysis. How many managers use servant leadership? Personally, I tell you, over the years, I have hardly ever, I think maybe I had 1 out of 10 different bosses I had, maybe 1 was a servant leader. It's just vast majority of leaders, managers, because of that power, because of that control they have, it's hard. They don't want to have a servant leadership. They say, okay, why they think is the problem with that? And it's happening with faculty also. Is that employees or a student would think this as a sign of what? Why is not more servant leadership style working, or why is not more leaders in that area, even though some they have tendency to be more laid back? And say, why is it the issue? You have to believe in that. But the problem with that is is what? But if you have, keep in mind, people that work for you might take you. Simple as that sometimes. Sometimes like in classes, if you just bend too much, it's okay. He's always, they think they can get by. So you have to find a balance. You still need to have servant leadership style, but you need to find a way that people still respect you, that people that work for you still respect you. Then, next thing I have seen over here is balance, find balance and fairness. Not mixing so much business personal life. What do I mean by that? These are, again, this slide is all from personal experience. So what do I mean finding balance and fairness?
Don't bring your personal problems into work and vice versa.
Yeah, one thing, I'm sure all of you have worked somewhere and you think, and most people at job socialize outside. I mean, it's just part of culture, the socialize outside. But what is the problem? What is that you have to manage it, you have to watch? And it's very hard. I mean, you cannot not socialize, then you have a situation, and I think this is probably the greatest issue when it comes to evaluation, because tonight also talks about performance evaluation. And those of you that working on that topic, your team, I'm looking, for some really innovative things. I've been spending a lot of time looking at other sources, and they are boring. They are, like you see some other slide that is this presentation there. What I call it is things that everybody knows. It's common sense, and that's boring because it's nothing really interesting about that. How do you balance and how? Because many times if you socialize, let's see, if I socialize with my boss outside, then it comes to evaluation time, and there are faculty that also, and I have seen this thing over the years. I've seen some faculty that weren't so sociable, and always their evaluation was affected. Same thing with the students, you always evaluate how do you evaluate your faculty? If they're more sociable toward you, if they give you the easier grade, you always, you just, for finding that fair and balanced. So how do you do that? And that's very tough, because you cannot totally not socialize, then you're going to be considered what? Yeah, I would use probably more term, but like, you could be considered, anti-socialist. I don't know, but you have to find that balance. But how do you find that balance, and how do you find that fairness? So, like I do with grading of your assignment, I don't look at the name. Even though I'm a first person, I try not to remember. I don't look at the first page of the name. I start grading, not looking at it. Turn the assignment from the back, and I start reading from your first, not looking at the cover. So I try to find a way to be totally unbiased. But it's hard. Many times people that work and socialize, it is hard when it comes to evaluation. If you know the person outside of work, you tend to have, because that's human tendency. So I'm looking, when you do that assignment, I'm looking at how we do performance evaluation an effective way in a situation like that. I'd like to know if there are people that you're evaluating and you have some sort of a contact outside. Because you could have 10 people working for you, and you work, 2 of them, you socialize. You go to their house. I've seen a lot of, not with everyone. So how do you make sure you're going to evaluate the person that you never see outside of work? The same as the person that comes to your house every weekend, or at least once a month. And it's hard. I'm yet to find an effective way, and I'm yet to find someone that is totally unbiased, because it's human tendency. It's hard. You see the person, so you feel a little more obligated toward them. So personally, I try not to socialize at all, or keep it, to the gathering that everybody else is. I won't go personally to the person's house. I said, if everybody else is going, I go. Because I try to find that balance, so it won't be any point of it. Same thing, with the student, Why, not have 3 of you see outside, no. I try to have the same sort of relationship with all the students, regardless of, what classes you're taking, regardless of your opinion. So I try to find that balance. But that's not easy. And the last thing is, I have here, know when to give up if you're not effective. What do I mean by that? Know to give up when you're not an effective. When you're not effective. So
I think you need to, if what you're doing is actually not working, I think you need to stop and look at it in a different perspective. Like, look at the bigger picture. So, or maybe consult somebody. So, because somebody else might have a different, ideas that could actually help you solve certain problem that you're having a hard time solving.
Right. You're getting very close, and if you look at other slides, see all the textbook that you read. I've sent you, and I've given you a lot of textbook in this class. You don't normally see any statement like that. Who says give up? I mean, they don't. They say what? They say they go and reevaluate yourself. But I said that that's why I have issue with a lot of resources that are, because they always post a rosy picture of things. They always give you things that are supposed to be right. But that's not real life. At some point, I've seen, you just have to give up. It's okay. It's part of reality of life. If I'm not an effective teacher, I shouldn't be here. After a while, if it's not working, and I have moved around. I said, I am not effective. I left last place. I said, I can't. There's not enough students in class. They weren't motivated no matter what I did. So sometimes you just can't fight. No matter what. It's part of life. If you're not a good manager, if you cannot motivate the others, no matter how good you think you are. Again, it got nothing to do with you and your abilities. Sometimes it's the circumstances. You cannot fight the circumstances. It could be one circumstance that your subordinate people that work with you, they love you, they appreciate you, they respect you. At some point, some other circumstances is totally different. So know the time to give up. Don't fight the losing battle. Don't expect, okay, I'm going to go back, I'm going to change these people. No, after a while, learn. And I learned this over the years. I learned that some situation is better to give up and go because you're fighting a losing battle. I put this slide at the cornerstone of presentation tonight because that's what I'm looking from you. when you come in, when you do your presentation in 2 nights, and you're going to be